Imagine a marketplace like this one here in Shanghai, where you could buy pretty much absolutely everything at any time of the day or night. Since its initial public offering here at the New York Stock Exchange on September the 19th, 2014, one brand has gone from complete obscurity to an international overnight success story. It's created a massive online marketplace. On that historic day, the Chinese brand Alibaba raised a massive $25 billion through this exchange, going from obscurity to the largest IPO in history. Alibaba is one of three market-driven brands which combine to make up about half of the value of the BrandZ top 10 most valuable Chinese brands for 2015. Tencent and Baidu, the internet giants, Zhang Menren, are the other leaders. Two dynamic forces have been in play shaping this brand's phenomenal success. Chinese consumers are connected and e-commerce is taking off here in China big time. Just like Steve Jobs of Apple, one man and his vision, stamina, character and daredevil attitude had the guts to take on Silicon Valley and, well, dare I say it, win. His name is Jack Ma from Alibaba. Today, Ma is China's richest man, worth a staggering $21.8 billion, thanks to the firm's recent IPO. Ma is indistinguishable from the brand he created 15 years ago, and the brand, like him, is not risk-averse. Well, he is, after all, the son of two Chinese performers. Ma likes to tell others that normal people can do extraordinary things, and this one extraordinary corporate leader and his 17 friends have. Together, they've created one of the most valuable tech and retail companies in the world, with a brand value of $59.6 billion. It now accounts for 80% of all online sales here in China, and is now looking to expand into the USA. How Ma has turned tables on Western brands stands out. As they say in Chinese, "Buka sui," unbelievable. Ma famously thought of the name Alibaba and its association with a magical cave while in a San Francisco coffee shop on his first visit to the US back in 1995. He asked the waitress what she thought and was told it made her think of Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. For good measure, he then asked another 30 people outside on the street, and regardless of their own origins from Tokyo to Germany, most knew of the story of Alibaba and how the words "Open Sesame" revealed the cave's treasures stolen by the 40 Thieves. Alibaba, a kind of businessman, eventually outwits and defeats them. It's a strong brand association. In truly inspirational Ma style, he then told those same people Alibaba opens sesame for small to medium-sized companies. While in the States and staying with his friends, he had also discovered the World Wide Web. And when he searched for the word beer in China, he saw no listings. He was determined to change that and went home and set up a website called China Pages, which failed. In 1999, he eventually talked a group of friends, some of them teachers, into joining his business by inviting them round to his apartment, which also doubled up as his office. For good measure, he videoed his opening pitch to them. He was brave. That historic video footage is now part of the film made of his life by an American director, A Crocodile on the Yangtze. Ma was seriously persuasive. He even got his colleagues to put their own money into the company and told them, "Our competitors are not in China, but in America's Silicon Valley. We need to learn the hard-working spirit of that valley." Ma set out to beat Silicon Valley at their own game, and he has, even if at times his approach has well been somewhat unconventional to say the least. At employee events, he often sings to his staff, appearing from below the stage and emerging up just like a rock star, wearing a blonde wig, and has once given them silly string to celebrate the company's 10th birthday. But it is first and foremost a consumer-focused business, which is the key to its success. As I said, Buka Sei, unbelievable, but this crazy man who tells other corporate CEOs to do crazy things is mission-driven. He's set out to make it easy for his customers to do business everywhere by helping small Chinese exporters, manufacturers and entrepreneurs to sell at home and sometimes internationally too. And his brand has done just that. The Alibaba Group has now grown into a multi-billion-dollar business. It runs e-commerce business-to-business services, web portals, an online currency and payment service called Alipay, and a shopping search engine. It's just added cloud computing services to this list. Today, Alibaba has three major sites. Alibaba, which is a business-to-business site, Tmall, a business-to-consumer site, and Taobao, a consumer-to-consumer site. It also has 7 other technology-related services that make up their commerce ecosystem. Together, Taobao, Tmall and one other, Zhuhaoxiao, a price comparison and coupon site, generate more than 80% of its revenues. The top items sold on Taobao include prepaid phone cards and game cards, lottery tickets, home furniture and baby products. A remarkable 1 out of 3 Chinese internet users is buying products through either Tmall or Taobao. In numbers, it has 231 million registered consumers and is now responsible for 80% of the online sales in China. It's helped many young Chinese people to realise their entrepreneurial dreams and set up their own businesses through it as well. Alibaba became profitable in 2001, but the launch of Taobao marketplace in May 2003 was hugely significant because it also defined the world of Chinese e-commerce for the future. In 2004, it launched 2 of its most important services, Ali Wang Wang, an instant personal social messaging tool where you can find your business partners, and Alipay, its payment platform, which was a first for China and which now others utilise too. Ma recognised that in order for e-commerce to really take off here in China, there needs to be a payment system, and Alipay has now become so successful that even his competitors use it too to process their own transactions. There was a gap in the market as Chinese credit cards were difficult to get hold of, and also they couldn't be used online. Alipay now has become an online currency in its own right. In 2005, Alibaba ran Yahoo in China, a subsidiary of Yahoo of America, which had bought a 40% stake of Alibaba's stocks. Ma later bought back half of that from them in 2012. This year, it's estimated that Alibaba's shopping portals far outpace sales of both Amazon and eBay combined. Now, that's going some. Last year's sales equalled Finland's entire GDP. The Chinese themselves often refer to Alibaba's Taobao as the almighty Taobao. Taobao means search for treasures in Chinese. These river cargoes over here might well contain anything from a $5 t-shirt to an entire wedding outfit. The range of products Taobao sells is renowned for being hugely diverse. Many young Chinese couples rely on Taobao to plan and prepare their weddings at an acceptable price and to save money. They even book their honeymoon trips and fully renovate their brand new apartment on it as well. Its marketing teams are imaginative and driven. In 2009, to boost sales, it created Singles Day, which now has become the world's biggest online retail sales day. It compares with Cyber Monday in the US, the Monday after Thanksgiving, which is also marketed as a big online shopping day. What began in China in 1993 as a student-led anti-Valentine's Day at Nanjing University, where single people could buy things for themselves, has been transformed by Alibaba. The November 2014 Single Day pulled off a record in sales, a staggering $9.3 billion just in one day. To achieve this, nearly all 30,000 merchants on the internet retailer's platform offered discounts, and a few days later 278 million packages were being distributed throughout China. And at places like this is a university campus just outside Shanghai, these packages today are being picked up by the students who made a lot of those acquisitions on Singles Day. Reflecting the mobile-first trend in China, Singles Day sales through mobile devices increased significantly. Alibaba encouraged brands and merchants to give an 80% discount for buying on mobile. Last year, it was 21%. The 2014 Single Day online sales event has attracted the participation of more and more global brands, including Japanese label Muji, the Spanish clothing retailer Desangle, and the American outdoor clothing label The North Face. Jack Ma himself appeared to reporters to say the logistics of delivering these packages made him rather nervous, and that it would take a few more years for the Singles Day event to become truly global. He also admitted he doesn't shop online himself. In fact, when it comes to shoes, even members of his family buy them for him. And I caught up with a couple of students here to find out about their experiences of purchasing on Singles Day on Alibaba.
I'm quite my classmates are very crazy about that day.
Yes, I bought them on internet on Single Day.
Why did you choose Singles Day to buy?
Because they are cheaper.
Well, price, of course. On Singles Day, they give a discount to 50%, which is really very cheap.
And how long has it taken from buying on Singles Day to picking up the packages today?
A lot of package took about 7 days, about 7 to 10 days
So how did you pay for the purchases you made online?
by Alipay.
And was that a good way of paying?
Yes, it's very convenient.
Well, we pay with the Alipay software, which is linked to our credit card or bank card. Yeah, so it is very convenient to pay for the things you purchase online, which only takes a few seconds.
So are you doing more and more of your shopping online?
Yes, it's convenient and it's cheaper than in a shop and in a shopping mall like that. And but I do buy foods from the shops, not online, because it's not safe, I think. But books and electricity equipment, I think it's fine online.
And what do you think the future is going to be for retail stores?
Well, it will be a hard time, I think, but I think they will find a way to improve and live on.
Alibaba is branching out from online sales and investing in startups and upcoming businesses. Just like other global economies, the rise of social media, map finding services, video hosting websites, a new TV and tech mobile operating systems are driving change. Ride-hiring mobile apps and online tutoring groups also form part of the Alibaba empire. These kinds of businesses are thriving here in China, in the designated industrial zones. And they're growing incredibly rapidly, from hundreds of thousands to tens of millions in just a decade and a half. Not content with revolutionising e-commerce, Ma set his sights on the financial services industry. Alibaba now sells its own service, Yaobao, an online investment fund, through Alipay, and it's grown quickly, collecting $87 billion so far. Individuals and young people can save small amounts online, and because it's put into a larger, bigger investment funds, their savings are growing more rapidly than they would with the state-regulated Chinese banks. This allows Yaobao savers to purchase potentially larger goods and even start up their own businesses, their entrepreneurial dreams. It's got big plans too for its Ali Bank, set up to finance smaller business owners and individuals in China. Becoming a public company has made Alibaba eligible for inclusion in the BrandZ Top 100 Most Valuable Chinese Brands for the very first time, and it has arrived in style, straight in at number 2. This is unprecedented in the history of the rankings. Until its sensational IPO listing this year, few outside of China had even heard of it. So what makes Jack Ma so successful? Perhaps it's his resilience. Ma was born in Hangzhou near Shanghai in 1964, the son of 2 professional ping-tang local opera dancers. This is a traditional form of Chinese storytelling and ballad singing. So it's not surprising then that performing comes naturally to him. He's self-motivated. Ma taught himself English as a teenager by cycling 40 minutes every day to the city centre to act as a free tour guide to foreigners. He even made that journey in the snow. While working as a teacher, earning just $15 a month, he also ran a translation company that wanted to capitalise on China's export boom, hence his visit to the US in 1995. He failed his college exams twice before passing and got accepted into university to become an English teacher. He wasn't good at math and has never learned to code. His sometimes ambitious, if not wild, pronouncements in the press have made some cautious about him and his company. Remember that in those early heady days of the internet, dial-up connections in China were so patchy that it took 3 hours to load half a web page. How times here have changed. Ma said in an interview that he knows nothing about technology and that he only uses his computer for email and to surf the web. He even gets a colleague to help him load American television shows onto his iPad. He says he's more influenced by martial arts than technological advancements and would like to have been a general. Now, that is a thought. He's toughened out the peaks and the troughs of the business cycles. In the dot-com bubble, he laid staff off, and by 2002, he had only enough cash to survive for 18 months. Characteristically, they then developed a new product for Chinese exporters to meet US buyers online, and things started to pick up fast. He also failed at fundraising back in those early days and learned a need to strengthen his top management team to bring into the business the right skill sets for success. Of course, he failed at those early China pages too. After Alibaba's successful IPO listing, he stepped down as CEO to become chairman, giving an emotional farewell address to his staff. As chairman, Jack Ma is focusing his attention on social enterprise, the environment, healthcare, culture and education to be precise. He wants to tackle the country's problems of pollution, which have taken the lives of young people he has known. So who are Alibaba's key people? Well, Alibaba's fortunes improved when soon after it was set up, the former Wall Street banker Joseph Tsai joined the company. Tsai led the early funding rounds, helping Alibaba to raise a total amount of $25 million from SoftBank, Goldman Sachs, Fidelity and some other investors from 1999 to 2000. He has a reputation as a deal maker. Tsai also led the negotiations for the recent IPO listing. He's also on the Forbes billionaires list. The current CEO is Jonathan Liu. He had modest beginnings, starting out on a reception desk at a Holiday Inn in Guangzhou before setting up his own internet fax company, which Alibaba eventually bought. Over the next 15 years, he rose through the company's ranks, taking on some of the toughest assignments to become CEO of Alibaba. He's softly spoken and almost the polar opposite of Jack Ma's bold personality. He led the team that developed the successful Alipay. The Chinese consumers are attracted to humour, and they're attracted to Jack Ma and Alibaba too. But the world wants to know if the brand is greater than Ma. The Alibaba listing on the New York Stock Exchange held some clues to this company's future and its plan for expansion into the US and elsewhere. Hong Kong wouldn't allow it to launch its recent IPO on its stock exchange. Its corporate governance violated one shareholder, one vote core value. Ma has control of his board still. He retains rights to nominate more than half of Alibaba's board members, and his customer-first philosophy doesn't always go down well with shareholders. Somewhat controversially, they apparently come third in his list of priorities after customers and employees. People question the Alibaba business model. Most of Alibaba's income comes from advertising and the transaction fees of merchants. Analysts say it needs to find new ways to capitalise on its large and ever-growing customer base. But on the positive side, while another rival, Amazon, has yet to make a meaningful profit 20 years after it was launched, Alibaba became profitable in 2001 and has just reported a 15% rise in quarterly profits in the first set of results since that all-defining listing in New York. Net income from July to September 2014 rose to $1.1 billion. Fake products on Taobao, especially luxury goods, nearly jeopardized that IPO listing. Alibaba watchers are also looking to see if it can compete with its biggest rival Tencent. After all, they are the two big internet giants of China now, and both are big on mobile platforms too. The Chinese government's regulations are unclear on some new areas Alibaba is involved in, such as internet financing. But pundits agree that the incredible $25 billion IPO listing will help it drive its 60 to 70% annual growth targets. It certainly raised the profile of the brand's challenge to the dominance of Silicon Valley. And now there's talk of Alipay working with Apple Pay. The US is definitely in Alibaba's sights, in more ways than just one. Some even speculate that in the future there could be a marriage between Alibaba and eBay. From the dark of a thief's hidden cave to the magic of what could be stored in the cloud, Alibaba is an incredible brand story. Jack Ma is a living example of a person who's lived and contributed to the China dream and succeeded. He motivates others to aspire to and live that same dream, and in so doing, Alibaba is providing employment to many in China, particularly the young. Ma is a man who has done an incredible thing. He's created a brand that Silicon Valley is watching, and he may well rival it as well. Chinese consumers love Alibaba and him. Just like Alibaba's cave, this online shopping marketplace has treasures that others prize. But will he be able to keep its rivals at bay? Certainly Jack Ma and his new CEO, Jonathan Lu, are a clever duo. They're said to be like-minded and are capable of pulling off smart business moves to make Alibaba bigger, more mobile and more global. And remember, in that fable story, Alibaba does win in the end.